Okay, people. Yeah. I'm just watching TV and then I hear cop sirens. I look out the window and this is what I see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 cop cars. The driver is getting arrested, you can see. Here's the truck. But it is. There's the driver. Oh wait, this is happening. It's almost 1 a.m. in the morning, too. So, yeah. You also wonders out here. Well, but yeah. That's what happened. Like literally 4 cop cars and they're a cover cop. So let's see, I was just he's not allowed inside anymore. I think he yes. Yeah, you better wait there. No. No. I will get everything you can go. There's a backup car over there. I did. Go. Get outside, people. Get off the camera. I'll see you.
Hey, Shelly, I'm just showing you that you can use a curling iron. I have a flat iron in my bedroom, but I don't know where it is. Anyway, I pulled out an old set of curling irons that have different attachments, but this, anyway, I'm just using the standard here for now. And it's working, okay? Now, this is a 1 gallon Mylar bag, right? With mung beans in it. I have other mung beans in glass jars, okay? I'm not too worried about putting an oxygen absorber in this, because if you're going to use oxygen absorbers for something like this, you're going to want 10-20 bags all lined up, ready to go with somebody behind you. Okay, so you put oxygen, and then somebody's coming in behind, sealing up, and then you come back and you can seal it up here at the seams with an iron, with a ruler underneath. You just give it a press, or you could put a board and then a little bit of an iron, or in this situation, I'm just keeping it simple and using a curling iron for hair. And then you write on here what it is. And this is just mung beans, right? So you don't need to put Decadent in there to absorb moisture, right? And in terms of an oxygen absorber, it's not necessary. But if you're going to use, you're going to want a whole bunch of bags, because these oxygen absorbers don't last very long in the air, okay? So, you know, you stress yourself out with these things. But I'm finding this Ziploc here isn't too bad. And in comparison in price, this way versus in a jar, this is definitely more economical for what it's worth. And I didn't use an oxygen absorber in the jar. And if I did, well, I did, because I had all the boxes out. And I do have a video where I went from box to box to box with the 1 gallon, 4 jars in per box, and oxygen absorber, screw on the lid, and put everything away, right? So whether those oxygen absorbers worked or not remains to be seen. So, you know, you might want to get yourself a few of these Mylar bags as you're going along, because they're actually not too bad, I guess, for what it's worth, right? I don't know. And another thing you have to remember too, if you order sprouts, right, they don't come in with an oxygen absorber. They just don't. Right? Sometimes they vacuum seal the bag, okay, whatever. But outside of that, to store sprouts, you could either put them, some people say put them in your freezer for long term, 5 years or more, right? Other people say, no, put it in your fridge. Whatever. Other people perhaps just leave them in a cool, dark place. I have some in freezers, I have some in jars, and I have some in boxes, right, to keep them out of the light, in a Ziploc bag in the original container, in a cool, dark place. All right? This here, because it is a mung bean, which is organic, it's sproutable. That's why I bought it for you, right? So that you have fresh vegetable no matter what goes on in the grocery store, even if it's just a bean sprout. Okay? What you do with that bean sprout is your business. Now, being that it's organic, it would sprout. However, that's not to say that other beans that you pick up that quote unquote aren't organic wouldn't sprout either, because they do, right? It depends, right? You know, and the older the bean gets, well, obviously it becomes more compromised. Either or, right? So, you know, just put what it is there. If it's organic, right? Okay, not every bean you can eat raw. Sproutable. Kidney beans, if you sprout them, don't eat them. You'll kill yourself, okay? Right? But mung beans, you can sprout and you can eat. Chickpeas, you can sprout and you can eat. Peas, you can sprout and you can eat, like without cooking, okay? A kidney bean and those kind of things, no, you're going to kill yourself because it's toxic. You have to cook out the toxicity. Lentils, you can sprout and you can eat. Does that mean all lentils? Don't ask me, because I don't know 100% sure. So definitely do your research, right? Okay? The thing about sprouting things, seeds and those kind of things, is that where they were grown or however they were processed, they may have came into contact with pathogens, whatever those pathogens may be. That's why they say, if you want to get into sprouting, make sure that you try and get sprouting seeds that have been pre-treated to prevent those pathogens from becoming active as soon as they're introduced into water. So in other words, like an E. coli, right? You know what I'm saying? So if you bought seeds that, you know, could potentially sprout, and then because they came into contact with E. coli, that E. coli could be reactivated. So you want seeds mixes and those types of things specifically for sprouting. But for something like this, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Okay? Just make sure how you do it, you don't create molds as you're sprouting. And then, of course, you can still saute if you want. And also, it depends on the age of the person eating fresh sprouts. Okay? Because adults and older children tend to have stronger immune systems than, say, 6-month-old babies. Whether that's true or not for the elderly, I don't know. Okay? But what I'm just trying to say here is, just because it says organic, right, in this situation, these will sprout. But if it was just mung beans, I don't know. You check it out, right? But be aware that, you know. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm going to show you, Shelly, exactly why I don't like investing, seriously, because they can get expensive, into oxygen absorbers. Now, apparently, this one's good because of the color orange. Okay, this is, they don't even label on there what they are. It just says, do not eat. It was tested number 3, but it doesn't tell. Anyway, they're quite large, so there are probably 10 of them for these 5 to 6 gallon Mylar bags, right? Which is probably 2,000 or 3,000, whatever, cc. Now, when I was doing my jars with the 1 gallon that I can't seal with a vacuum sealer because they're a 1 gallon jar with large lids, I did at one point open up this pack, ran through the jars quickly as fast as I could, put it in the bag, ran to the vacuum sealer, sucked out all the air, but obviously the bag got compromised, and look what happened. So I doubt any of these are good. Do you see how much is there? And this is why I don't like to use this crap. I just don't. But, and then we've got these ones. I don't know. It looks like I've got 3 packs still okay. Hold on. Okay, so I like the 1 gallon size with the Ziploc. Okay, I think an iron would be better than a curling iron in order to seal that part, but it's working for the most part, so I'm not too worried about it, right? Don't forget to label what it is. I mean, when you come, you can just cut that off, and after you're done, you still have the bag, okay? I would recommend probably getting the 5 to 6 gallon. I do have some. Because you got to be really coordinated when you're using these things, right? with the Ziploc, so that you got your 1, 2, 3 when you're getting into your like 44 pounds and you're filling up a big bucket, and you know, and because then, like I say, it's better if somebody comes behind you. You've got your Mylar with the Ziploc, you throw your oxygen absorbers in there, somebody comes behind you, Ziploc, go to the next, go to the next, go to the next. Otherwise, you're going to end up, I'm serious, you're going to end up throwing out a whole freaking, unless you maybe buy smaller portions, right? Because I'm pretty sure this is no good. And like, these things are just, ugh. Okay, and as you can see, they pack nicely in a box. However, if you're subject to rodents, mice, house rats, squirrels even, for that, whatever, this box with that Mylar bag isn't going to protect the food. So either get yourself a bucket, and even then, those house rats can chew through a bucket, or you can put them in a bin. I myself has only ever had 1 mouse in the house. That was it in all these years. But then I've got lots of cats around, right? So hold on. Okay, so another thing I'm finding is When you get them at 5 to 6 gallon bags, don't cut them. Thinking whatever you're thinking. Okay? Because you need the height. So, I do plan on doing... I'll give myself to the end of February. Okay? Right now, I'm just trying to make some buckets for this hard white wheat coming in. And these, like these kind of buckets, right? And these northern, great northern white beans, right? So in the meantime, okay, now I may or may not end up putting them into Rubbermaid bins or whatever, but seriously, I already got wheat and whatever in cardboard boxes, in paper bags, in, you know, vacuum seal bags that have been vacuum sealed, okay? So, you know, again, do what works for you. So right now I'm just packing this up nice and tight. I have another box of this whole groat oat, right? Which I'll probably end up buying another one because I'm not, right? I got myself a 2-gallon bucket full of that, 1 bag at 1 gallon, and just a half. So I want at least 2 more. I got 1 coming in, and I'll get another one at some other point, and then I'll feel satisfied. Because I don't have that, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these chickpeas out of here. I'm going to fill up this bag, and then I've got that. When the next whole oats come in, then I'll put in here. Or, depending how many I get, I'll give it its own box. And I'm still thinking to get another thing of mung beans. Because this will sit for a long, long time, and right? And I'm getting the mung beans specifically for sprouting. And that's another thing, Shelly. When it's organic coming in like this, it completely tastes different. Oh, it really does. And you'll find that it cooks up different. And this stuff comes in clean, like, you know, right? Like these chickpeas are sproutable, you know? And like, yeah. So, do you see how I'm doing this? And then I'm gonna go get my, what is that thing called? A hair curler. Run back and forth, unless I can plug it in over here, because it gets too heavy for me, right? I put the bag in the box so that as it's filling up, I suppose I might be able, you know, it just fits in there, right? But yeah, you're gonna find that it's not what you're used to, unless of course you buy all the time organic. Now, so I'm not too worried about bugs and stuff. I'm really not. You know, as for mice, well, you just keep an eye open for them. Get mice traps. If you can get a cat, get a cat. Or, you know, just put them in containers after the fact of doing this that are hard for them to chew through. Right? And if you get those house rats, well, obviously you're going to be de-ratting your whole house because they live in the walls, right? So, it's just a fact of life. Okay, so I think the moral of this story is get some Mylar bags. I would recommend with the Ziploc. Most women have something like that around. Okay, or you can just use a straight up iron. You use an iron with like a piece of board underneath, and you just press in here, just on the edge, right? Or you can use a ruler and then press, okay? I'm going to be ordering these again. 1 gallon, 1.5 gallon. This is a 2 gallon because back in the day, I put chickpeas in jars and I vacuum sealed them. And I have the quinoa and the chia seed and the whole green pea and just all in just case after case after case of jars, people. You probably wonder You're probably wondering where I stored them, right? So maybe as I'm backtracking, you know, and I'll get a few more of these Mylar bags. And then when I have them and I get caught up with whatever I'm doing in Auntie Shemay's room, I can get into those jars and start emptying those jars into the Mylar bags. And then if I want a can, I have them. I won't have to buy them. Because this is, you know, there's no, when you vacuum seal, you're not taking out the oxygen out of the jar. So it doesn't really matter. Unless, of course, you want to put oxygen absorbers in jars, and I didn't do that for chickpeas and stuff like that, right? And in terms of rebagging, this isn't too bad. Although I think I would want a 1.5. I'm finding the 1 gallon is nice, but probably a little too small for some things, where 2 gallon is too big, but is nice. Right, but a little too big for some things. So the next time I'm going to go the 1.5, but I'm going to go for convenience purposes, all with the Ziploc. And then if I want to seal, you know, I can seal it, and that's easy enough to do, right? But I'm kind of excited now because I can work on emptying out some of those jars, and I won't have to buy jars when I want to can something in the future. But there's no emergency, right? Like, there's no rush to do it. So I'm just saying, right? So there is advantage to these Mylar bags. Oxygen absorbers, like I said, you got to have everything out, ready to go, boom, 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 and have preferably somebody behind you closing up. Otherwise, you're just wasting your money. So if you're going to go the route of the oxygen absorber, try and find smaller packs and work in multiples of 5 and 10, right? So that you can do it fast. Otherwise, you're just going to be wasting your money. Okay? And personally, I don't got time to be wasting my time or wasting money or anything like that. So, you know, I'm comfortable with what I'm doing here in terms of not putting an oxygen absorber into these bags, because I'm not concerned about bugs. I'm really not, you know, unless one moth is flying around my house and it gets in there. But I haven't had moths for a while now, at least up here. So hold on. Okay, Shelly, I'm going to talk about these Gamma lids here. Now there are different brands. Okay, and to give you an example, I got this bucket with this Gamma lid, because if you buy $99, you get free shipping. So I just picked this bucket, right? Because I already bought these these buckets. Well, not this bucket. This is my bucket. That's my bucket. The other buckets my son already took down. Anyway, it kind of pissed me off, but besides that point, he has no patience for me. Anyway, I bought buckets, three, okay, and I did another order because I like these buckets. 3 6-gallon buckets, great for 44 pounds of wheat. Okay, I'm telling you right now. Get those Mylar bags as well. And with that, you have to buy the lid separate. So you buy the bucket for $17, $18 or whatever it is, 6 gallons. And you buy these for about $16, $17. Okay? Whereas this one came from 72 hours. And I was just buying Mylar bags. And I wanted to top it off to get my free shipping. So I bought this bucket. It came together as a whole. I don't know. It was expensive, like $44. Point is, now that I have it, the 2 different buckets from the 2 different companies, okay, I do not like these Gamma lids. I like these ones better. Because remember I was talking about those rats? And this will last longer too. This is a very nice, solid lid, and this came from Bryden Solutions. Same with these and the 6-gallon buckets. So if you're looking for buckets and you ever want to make that little teeny weeny bit of investment as you go along in terms of the better quality, go with the Bryden Solutions with their 6-gallon buckets that you all have to buy individually, and then individually buy your Gamma lids, and you're gonna get a nice bucket with a really solid lid. Whereas if you go with 72 hours, I don't know, you're not saving, you're spending more money on a bucket that comes with the Gamma lid, but the quality of plastic is questionable. Just wanted to point that out. So go with Bryden Solutions or a similar company that provides good quality buckets with Gamma lids. Okay, so I'm just going to finish this video. I don't know. I don't even know what day it is. Anyway, I think it's January 22nd of 2023, Sunday. This is empty, and I've got, I don't know, 5 or 7 more coming in. We got another bucket run, okay? Because I'm finishing up. Oat Groats Whole Hulled. Organic. Rye kernels. Corazon wheat kernels. This is a hard red wheat. Right, you can see. This one's empty. This one just has rice temporarily. This one's empty because my son took a whole bunch down yesterday. This one's empty. Oh no, this one's not. This one has organic groat. No, sorry. Organic Gabarzo beans. So these ones have, it's full of Gazarbo beans. And then I've got 3 more buckets or something like that coming in. Or 4, I don't know. With either 2 or 4 more, because I'm trying to color coordinate it a little bit, right? For the hard white wheat, okay? So we've got a few more buckets because we're going to do another bucket run, and then I'm pretty much done for buckets. And then this one's empty, getting ready for the Great Northern beans, all right? And then this one's empty, still filling things up here. This one, it says soft white wheat. All right, what's this one down here? Soft white wheat. This one is the wheat for sure. This one might be a mixture. Okay, remember? Anyway, besides that point, I'm gonna write mixed, right? Just put maybe another sticker there. It could be mixed with the hard red, because I put that hard white thinking I don't have hard white, thinking I didn't, that there was no such thing, and then finding out that there is. So maybe I do have hard white wheat downstairs and I just don't know it because I forgot. Anyway, mung beans, you can see. Here we got pudding rice, okay, and this particular type of rice, okay. What's this one down here? Oh boy. Red lentils, okay, because you can make flatbreads with that. Here we've got the coconut sugar. Here we got dates chopped that I've dehydrated. And here we got whole mulberries. Okay, those ones are in the actual size. I didn't grind those ones up. And I got 5 or 7 more little buckets coming in terms of, what do you call it? These little white ones. Just to finish doing whatever I'm doing here. Like I need a bucket with spelt in it. A spelt kernel, because that one is good for digesting. Alright, so if you can ease that into your bread making. Oh yeah, speaking of that, I got my Wonder Mill. This is a whole lot different than that other little thing that I bought. And I bought the attachments for it that are coming in from the States. And a little flaker. So, anyway, I just chose this one because apparently it has a pretty good motor on it. And it's certified. I mean, it's the middle of the line, whatever, it's okay. You can see what's going on here. And then it has two attachments. So when it comes, I'll show you. And then I got these things. Now, I haven't even opened it up yet. Let's see. Okay, so Shelly, let's talk about buckets here, because that's kind of why I put on this camera. The first link that I gave you to that Bridens.com, if you're going to buy buckets and you can't find them good wherever you live, in terms of your area on the East Coast there, go to Bridens.com. Their buckets are good. I really like the Gamma lids. I recommend the 6 gallon pails when you get into those, putting the whole bucket away, in terms of you might use it next year or the year after, right? As you got your kitchen buckets, okay? Definitely go with the Mylar bags with the Ziploc, because then you got a little bit of ease in there, you know, depending on what you're doing. Because even with the Ziploc, you can still iron them and seal the edges if you want. Otherwise, you can just Ziploc it, screw on your Gamma lid, and then when you want to come fill up your bucket, you can go to your other bucket, take off the Gamma lid, unzip it, take out whatever you want, put it into these little white buckets, take the air out, push, you know, and then just, right, and put Gamma lid, and you're good to go. Like, seriously. If you're going to have it there for any length of time, then, yeah, iron it. And other than that, just, you know, when you start buying buckets, you really want to just start off with a few first to see what the quality is like. Yeah. Because you don't want a knockoff bucket. Like that little blue bucket that came from that other place. I don't like it, but it's going to just be a bucket for in the house for the cat food. That's all I'm going to use it for. Alright. So anyway, now, the reason I bought these, if I ever decide to do this, what this is this is a silicone tray. It looks like they come in a pack of 4, so I have 12 of them, because I have 12 trays for my dehydrator, which is just an American Harvest, which works fine for me, and I work it like a workout horse. And anyway, I have the plastic trays, but this is a silicone tray. Okay, and I think the channel's name is Rain Country, something, and this woman does a lot of videos, right? And I catch them every now and then. Anyway, she brought to my attention that apparently these things, silicone trays for dehydrators, are not as toxic as plastic trays. Plus, depending on what you're, because this, you can pour broth into this. Well, you can pour it into your other trays as well, right? Milk. You know, you can do more liquidy type of things on this, right? Obviously, sour cream, cottage cheese, whatever, right? Yogurt, you can do that, okay? Eggs, right? And so after it's dried, because it's flexible, it's easier to get it off. That's the first thing. Otherwise, if you're using plastic trays, when this stuff starts to dry, the yogurt or whatever, it can get, depending how much oil and whatnot is in the food. Like some yogurts are more oily than other yogurts, okay? And it can stick to you, so you know, so either or. These, you take them off and you just kind of go like this, and it loosens up everything, so it's much easier to get off, as well as it's not so toxic. So I just, you know, with that in mind, now I have eggs downstairs in powder form, but honestly I don't know if they're good anymore, because they've been down there for quite a while, but you see, that's the beauty of a jar, right? You know, once you seal a jar, if you don't open it, chances are whatever's inside is going to sit there really well for a long time. And, you know, and it's cold down there too. So now these little white buckets, I'm not sure where I'm not going to keep them all out here, that's for sure. I'm just putting in there the things that I might want to use on a more regular basis. Obviously, I'm trying to encourage myself to use the wheat now that I have enough of it and I don't have to worry, right? And that's why I got the milk. I didn't really want to, but whatever. It's done now, right? I'm sure once I start using it, once I start making really nice bread or whatever it may be, you know, my kids are going to be like, ah, and I'll be like, yeah, go grind your own wheat. You can borrow my mill if you want. And plus I've got a really heavy duty metal one that's like huge that you can go like that, right? Which that will be somewhere down the line. We'll talk about that. So basically I'm going to end this video. Just going to keep it kind of short. I don't know. Andre was videotaping the cops outside, you know. So there's that little video in there. And he's a little cop chaser, right? Right? It's hard for me to explain to Andre how I don't necessarily like cops, right? That they're not all nice guys, you know? Right? Because, you know, I don't know. It's like anything in life, you just have to be careful, right? I was sitting up in my computer desk area there talking to myself the other day about the stupid cops. You know, like, I just wish there was more good cops than bad cops, you know. It's like, it's not right to broad sweep each and every cop, right? Because, you know, Andre kind of looks up to cops, right? I said, well, gee, Andre, when I was little, I used to look up to cops too, right? You know, but not so much anymore. You know, when you get older, you'll understand, right? You know, not every cop is a good cop, and we got a lot of dirty cops out here, people, so I don't know. Anyway, he wanted to record it for himself, right? And apparently they were over there. Everybody, well, not everybody slept through it. Andre said he heard the helicopters. But my neighbor was like, did you hear the helicopter and this and that horn and dogs were barking and blah and lights were flashing and they were doing like what they were doing at the little house over here. They did it over there, right? But I slept through it all, so I don't know. Whatever. To me, it's all a charade, people. I reminded my neighbor that that guy over there didn't fucking just disappear. Nobody knows where he is. No, he ended up out in that white freaking hearse, okay? Got it on camera. There's only one reason a vehicle like that is going to show up after all that shit happened. Alright? So, anyway. Can't worry about shit like that. I can't change the world. I can't change those things. Right? It's impossible. You know, the police have to want to clean their own swamp, so I don't know if that will ever happen. I'd like to think that they don't want to be phased out and be replaced with androids and that kind of crap, and that, you know, the ones that are truly human will fight back. But how they'll fight back, I don't know, even if they're even capable of fighting back. So, okay, so we're just going to go brrr, and then we're going to end this video, okay? Keep it simple. See? Getting ready for round 2. This is going to be exciting. I don't know how many of those I'll leave there. I'll probably leave some, and then I'm going to cover them with a cloth to get them out of the light. But the problem with that, though, is in the summertime, the house gets really hot upstairs, like really hot, and this is a kitchen. And I don't want this shit baking, so that's why I'm thinking to put it into my bedroom, because my bedroom faces north. It's always dark, because I hardly ever go in there and turn on the light, and it's nice and cool. Like real cool. It gets cold, actually, which would be perfect. So I'm now in my mind where I'm going to put these things. Where am I going to put these buckets now that I got them? Alright, there's a lot of fucking buckets, and I got about 5 or 7 more coming in. Like, who does that?